You sure do. But I know what to do, so let's fly by. Damn, so... I mean, I figured like that would happen. But I thought that the game would intervene, like the game always intervenes at like the crucial point, but this time it didn't. Cause like something would happen, like you'll be against the wall, then like Edgeworth or somebody will come in and like save you and give you like new testimony or circumstantial evidence, and they'll change things up. But that didn't happen. So
What other piece of evidence do you think you can present?
I gotta read it again. But obviously I can't show that handprint. I guess the knife. I don't know. Something about the knife. Okay, here we go. Cannot show evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
Oh, what? Oh, you lie.
Chief Gunt.
You opened my safe. I know what you took from what was inside. The conclusive evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, how does it feel now when people lie on stand, huh? Huh? Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Shut up, dummy. I'm lying for you. We did it last time. You got arrested, dummy.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present this.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure this out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
Looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, right? So, well, I can't just let you pin me up as a murderer. I'll tell you what, it really happened.
What? You mean you admit to it? You admit to it? A-hole.
I was the first person to arrive at the scene of the crime that day.
Oh, now you want to tell the truth. Whatever. Try to manipulate shit.
It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her?
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when... Oh, okay. I'm stupid. That when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid.
So your system is Skype.
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Drake convicted.
When I tampered with this crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why?
For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging evidence?
What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off the pieces.
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on the jar too?
Ho, 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 ho. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come now, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe.
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do it. I didn't want to have to do that, but being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, right though. You should have shown it then before it was too late.
It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. This is a tricky part here. But she gave me this book, so I can use that for an excuse. Rules for submitting evidence. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. And in Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. But I guess it is relevant then, right? But it wasn't approved though. It wasn't approved by the police department because it was in this safe, so you can't even use it for submitting evidence. So I think I can use that book as an excuse not to show it. Or I can show evidence and show that book, I think. Because I think I'm gonna just get faulted if I don't show anything. So yeah, I'm gonna go show evidence, Your Honor. And I'm gonna go to the book. I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Mr. Edgeworth, I was right. Your opinion, please. I think Mr. Wright's humor has improved at the expense of his defense. Oh, I fucked up. But a polish of his defense, Mr. Wright.
Come on, Mr. Wright. You remember that thing with the murderer's handprint on it, don't you?
There's no way around it, Mr. Wright. Now let's try this one more time. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. Crime scene photo. Because he wants us to show that piece. But wait, I don't know. Can we prove that he hid the evidence? So, well, fuck it. Let's just see what happens if I show it again now. Is it gonna go down the same way? Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of cloth from the victim's vest.
Oh, yes. At last, you finally brought it out in the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecutor requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean?
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
Ho ho ho. You're all slow on the uptake, as ever, Worthy.
What? What?
Think about this. Right though I had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever's fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Oh, okay, so I had to wait to show it. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... I only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. I'm gonna just lie and say it was him. There's no use lying here. They'll discover the truth secondhand. Okay. That's enough. Alrighty. This court case is rough, man.
I don't get why. Oh. So I guess he wanted Gant.
Admit that he hit the piece first before showing the evidence. That makes sense, but rather than just like showing it before he said he hit it and all that. Okay, the person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Alright, let's see if we fucked ourselves here. Emma, straight.
What? They're mine.
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, ho, 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 ho. You're really something, right, though. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. The tragic, but true. This girl really did prosecute the marshal to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Skype. You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Skype, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet.
Huh, but I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. Right, hypocrite? I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? The cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, it's just one little thing I have to clear up.
Oh, and what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skyke, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
Oh, what? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold this piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. I don't know. Alright. Evidence that contradicts cloth. Evidence law, right? Maybe evidence law. Contradicts the cloth. Contradicts the cloth. Yeah, you can't use it. Evidence law.
Ho 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 ho. It's fun watching you squirm, right though. You fucked up.
This piece of cloth evidence does indeed seem to contradict something. The outward appearance of mental sanity. What am I doing? If this piece of cloth was cut from Prosecutor Neil Marshall's vest after he died, then something's definitely not right about it.
It's too late to turn back now. You're the only one who can put an end to this, right?
Alright, let's think about this.
No, no.
Did I click that by accident? Alright. Alright, let's think about this. Alright. Contradicts a piece of cloth. Found in the chief's safe evidence for something, but what bears Emma's prints? Contradicts this cloth. What does that? What do we have that does that? The vase says Emma written on it in blood, so it's not that. Piece of evidence contradicts the cloth. Let's see. The knife. Yeah, it's like, why have the knife if she pushed him onto the thing? Piece has a contradicts the cloth. Crime scene from the photo taken 2 years ago. Yeah, you can, but it just has Emma's prints on it. That's it. This handprint right here. Someone found oil stain on the fabric. Someone found oil stain on the fabric. For a lift, they must have had a really oily hand. That's right. Think about it scientifically. A more likely explanation is the person slipped and fell on a freshly waxed floor. The person slipped and fell on a freshly waxed floor. An oily hand getting wax all over their hair. Well, that would account for this in most of the world, I guess. I don't see what's scientific about them. Pierce, you know, I always slip on the floors at school after the wax. Oily hand. Oh, I finally got it by looking at the picture. I'm stupid. Cause, alright, the cloth has no blood on it, so it was cut before he started spurting blood and he got his fatal wound. Cause then after he started coughing up blood, cause he has on this white shirt that's underneath the vest. Okay, I didn't look at this picture hard enough. Because, yeah. Because if it was cut after he died, then the blood wouldn't have gotten onto his, the blood would be on the handprint. But it's not. Okay.
What exactly is this supposed to be?
This is a picture Miss Skype took. Take a good look at it. Yeah. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yeah, the blood. Oh yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that's that piece of cloth. Yeah, it's clean. Wait. There's no blood on it.
Oh.
Since Emma Skype's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on that sword at the time.
No, this is nonsense.
Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. Oh, he killed him from that? Damn, this guy is cold. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Skype? Picked up an unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armored sword. Damn. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said the person proceeded to write her name on a jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue.
and make Lana believe her sister did it.
Remember when you admitted only moments ago that you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through this very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No. It's finally all over. Yeah, you fucked up, buddy. Objection. Ah, look at his face. Oh, yeah. That was close right though. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations and What do you mean refute allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth, cloth is illegal evidence. Order, I say.
Nonsense, what is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Oogie? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. So then what's your excuse, right though? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this time. I did say that.
Well, that's true, but the defense did refuse to present the evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair.
Oh. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
Had him sweating. I'm afraid Mr. Gunn's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last the time is for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? Oh my god, they keep throwing me against the wall here. That you purposefully and illegally. Nah, we got evidence law, I can use that, right? Because it wasn't relevant. Evidence law. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Did you personally and illegally conceal this piece of cloth? I did not. I admit I refused to present it at one point.
Haha, so the evidence is illegal.
No, it isn't, Mr. Gamp.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't.
What do you mean, you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Oogie, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. He can't really believe.
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence illegal or not?
Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Evidence law, baby. Here we go. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law.
What's this?
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emmett Skyke's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in this time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more.
Oh, what?
You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law.
Oh.
Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule 2. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
And herein is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SO9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Sorry, but you can recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago.
No! Oh!
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant.
You yourself confessed. Excuse me. You yourself confessed to a certain truth.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest?
Oh, yes. I'm a dumbass. I can't remember what I said. No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, Chief Police, personally approved this cloth.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who could that be. Diamond Gant. The killer was you.
No!
You lost it, yo.
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the apartment trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me.
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvest the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman.
Detective Goodman.
Yes, that's right.
Damn, I forgot his voice.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find the truth. Please, you gotta help me.
Yeah.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman?
Yeah, can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said,
It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall.
well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SO9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. I couldn't just pull out. That's what she said.
Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime.
Even so, the blood just poured out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor I didn't realize my fatal mistake.
The bloody handprint on the locker. On Detective Gumshoe's locker.
I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will.
Leaving the prosecution car aside, how could you get Miss Skyke involved in all this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker.
I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what I take.
So, you left the jar of faggots in the glove.
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I gotta hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court?
Me? You despise
criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same.
Yeah, but he didn't kill nobody.
One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it all alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Oogie.
Oh, what?
Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
I'm sorry too, Diamond Cunt. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person and no longer my friend, for you are a murderer.
Oh, those days are long and gone now, Oogie. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry. You'll be all right. You'll get over it. Now you have Wright here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I hear them already. The melody sounds of a new beginning.
There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Diamond Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Kite, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right.
When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years, from the time I had God help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all this questioning raised in this trial had been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Kate. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble.
My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top.
Well, she smiled for once.
I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Skyke.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
What about my car? Whatever. It was nothing.
Liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
So stop it. I only did my job.
In light of this case, It seems as good as self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice, as trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
This music is good. This like I said, this game has a real good soundtrack. Well, the trial has gone on for far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skype, not guilty. Yeah, woohoo! She didn't do it! Woo! Yeah! That bitch is cute. That is all. This court is adjourned. February 25th, 5 o'clock. This record, defendant lobby number 2. At long last, it's finally over. This long playthrough is over. Thank you. We made it. We all made it. The Emma. Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for murder. She didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended.
I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well.
Yeah, she smiled a long time.
You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Oh, hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is this? What is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around while on duty? He said it like 2 times already. And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, you're here because of my sister again?
No, not this time. I came today because of you pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone, even me. Hey, Lana, Miss Skype.
Lana.
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. What? Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology.
It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
That day 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was getting you from getting wrapped up in this mess.
Sis.
I asked God to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew.
But sis, you were only doing it for me.
No.
Huh?
I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you.
Sis.
I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry.
But sis, you don't have anything to apologize for. I'm happy now.
You're happy.
Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have.
Oh, Emma. Emma.
Sisterly hug. Sister, sister. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because, in doing so, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least, that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe.
Me?
Thank you both for all you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Where was he hiding?
I just came to say, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right. Well, I'll be going now.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me.
There he goes, being all gloomy doomy.
No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, but I don't ever trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right.
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day, you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring down. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone.
I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight criminals on my own, I needed a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now.
But Edgeworth,
who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue to go on as a prosecutor.
Edgeworth, don't you understand? How about you cut this emo act off and stop pretending? Diamond Get and your mentor, Medfin Von Karma.
I'm Von Karma, bitch.
I imagine that voice echoes in Edgeworth's head when he thinks about Von Karma.
We're both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime, but they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I need the weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, what? Oh, yeah, definitely. What is this? A pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about. Show him the power of friendship.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. What? I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna fuck up this ending. Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. What, the evidence law?
That might mean something to you, but I don't see how it had anything to do with our partnership.
Huh?
Mr. Wright, seems you still have a lot to learn as well.
I fucked up. No, I guess that wasn't the right thing, the piece of evidence. I don't know what it was. What was it? Cause like, who would have guessed? Like, you only got one shot. Like, who would have guessed this was it? Like, I didn't even find that shit in the beginning anyway. The crumpled piece of paper.
That's the picture I drew.
Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I have the other. In part, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's time for me to go.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
What was it, though? With the photo? I guess it was a photo, right?
Damn!
Edward, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you.
I know, it seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright. But what I face now is my own problem.
Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court.
Farewell.
I think it was the picture.
I'd better be going too.
Okay, but I'll be by the visit soon.
It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Yes, there's a little something for you.
Scientific investigation.
It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well.
Thanks, sis. I will.
And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I had faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself.
Well, not daydreaming. Don't go tearing off just yet, pal.
Huh? What is it, detective?
There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But
I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out after 30 minutes. Hey, believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh?
way you go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's the only one who's footing the bill.
What? Me? You know I'm broke.
Well, you think I could afford it on my salary? You gotta be kidding, pal.
Huh? What's going on?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream?
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you, well, we all go pay it off together.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, let's go, guys.
Well, we finally done with Phoenix Wright. Playing a script, Shu Takami. Well, it was a good journey. It was fun. Like I said, sometimes the cases would be a little... I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I managed to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Oh, she sent her off to Europe to study. So she's gonna be like a crime scene investigator. So this is basically like an epilogue as well as a credit scene, so I gotta pay attention. Okay. Gumshoe.
Yikes, I thought I was going for it for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my authorization investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. I just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easy.
So he got his job back. This is a good game though. But like I was saying before, like the cases be a little wonky because you have to play it a certain way by using the precise evidence to branch off the story. And same thing with pressing certain testimonies. Because if you don't press like every little thing, like you won't get that branch in the testimony to continue the
My new mission is to guard the main entrance to take care of Billy. Can you believe it, sir? I've been demoted to security guard, sir. My partner, sir, been keeping an eye on the entrance for me today, sir. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective, sir. Yes, sir. Then I could just be like that Dick Gumshoe, sir. Even though I kind of sound like him, sir. I could be my own man, sir.
But yeah, the Phoenix Wright it was a good adventure. It's a good adventure. Yeah, the music's really good. Soundtrack is bumping. It's a good ending track too. Nice, chill, mellow. I can't think of anything. Anything I didn't like? Well, I just said I didn't like how certain. The game is very specific. Like you have to. Or maybe I'm just an idiot. Like because. Like I said, when I'm reading, I can't fully pay attention because I'm voice acting. I'm trying to pay attention to the characters' voices and their emotions, so my brain split from the dialogue. But oh, he's in jail.
What is it? Can't you see I'm having a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. She's seeing one of the guards as it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Ben Bean a back a smile. Look, can you make sure Billy and the gang get that water? Yeah.
Jake Marshall. Well, we found out who killed your brother. It was freaking Diamond Gant. And he killed Goodman, which I knew he did, but I didn't know why.
Looks like you won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The Wright Way lunch. The top layer tasted bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer as sweet as victory. Kiss seemed to dig the turnabout theme. A hot cellar this time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything. Localization, Ben Jude, he did a good job localizing Japanese text over here. Him and Brandon Gay and the other dude, I didn't get to read his name. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Oh, Mr. Left, or Mr. Up, Mr. Down. Anyway, he said he'd been doing it or something. So, well, anyway, I got another trial to get to, so I better be going. Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, I got to go. The judge. He called him Mr. Left, Mr. Right. Translation, Global Studios. Yuli Kim, Steve Anderson, J. Patrick Raleigh. They did a good job. Because I can't imagine how the Japanese text is. Oh, Mia, we haven't seen her in a while. Maya. My bad, I always mess with him. Ah, it's nothing like the soothing air in a fresh country. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objections. Still, I can't go back until I'm full-fledged spirit medium.
Mr. Meyer, afternoon training's about to begin.
Oh, coming. Well, see you around, Nick.
That's probably not even her voice. I haven't done her voice in so long. Maya was funny. I always confuse her name with Mia, because they both start with M. But Maya was funny. So she's still training, huh? So there's 2 more games on this collection, this trilogy. I'll eventually get around to them, but not in a rush. Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I bought you your tea, sir. What's going on?
The Bellboy. Producer, Minae Masukawa. Producer, Tatsumi Minami. This game has a good soundtrack. I didn't get to see who was,
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything you did. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
a letter. Photo. Oh, they're younger. That's sweet. So she was a cop. She was a beat cop. And she made detective. Then chief of prosecutors. Capcom. Rise from the ashes. Alrighty. Alright guys, this wraps up Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, the part 1. And see you guys around for the next one. Eventually. Peace.